All right, guys. Welcome to a first edition of the podcast via YouTube. My name is Nathan Sports Cards. I'm joined by Cooper and TJ as always. I usually do this podcast via Anchor and post it on Spotify and Apple Pod, but I decided to do something different and start posting it on YouTube. So I'll be doing a lot of the podcast on here. TJ and Cooper will be my regular guests that I'll have on the show. And we'll talk about cards, football, anything that's going on in the sports world that's pretty relevant right now. These will be pretty brief, just kind of a natural conversation. It'll be entertaining and kind of add some value to your card experience or sports experience as well. So welcome to these guys. These are the guys that I do basically all my card stuff with. But if you don't know us, I'm Nathan's.sportscards on Instagram. Cooper is cs.sportscards and TJ is 405 cards. You can follow us there, check out our content as well. But yeah, kind of gonna just get right into it, honestly, with a big week of NFL coming in. Obviously the big one for me being week 4, like these next 2 or 3 weeks are really the big weeks that you kind of find out who teams really are. You know, obviously there are some teams that are 3-0 that probably we didn't expect to be 3-0, and they're getting into maybe a tougher part of their schedule, and different things like that. So we'll kind of go over a few topics that I have in my head. The first being the biggest game of the week, in my opinion, maybe one of the top 4 or 5 games of the year, I would say is going to happen.
Better
is
say
Tom
Rams and
Brady's
Cardinals.
return home.
For that.
No, do
I was
what?
going to say Rams and Cardinals, but
No, it's Tom Brady, bro. Are you serious? Tom
Hey,
Brady.
don't sleep on Jets Titans, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the big one for me is Bucks Pats. It'll be interesting to kind of see how that goes with Tom Brady coming back to the Patriots, what kind of I guess reception he gets back home, how he'll prepare for the team that he was on for 20 years, how Belichick will prepare for a quarterback that he coached for 20 years. It'll be an interesting matchup. And what I'm interested to see is how Bill Belichick and Tom Brady will interact after the game. I've heard there's a Vegas like bet that you can bet either they will or they won't shake hands, or like you can bet over and under like how long their conversation will be after the game. It's kind of funny.
Why wouldn't they shake like do they have something against each other? Like why are people betting them?
Brady didn't really want to play for Belichick after like 2018.
Yeah, I know, but like I feel like he still has respect for him. Like
yeah. I feel like they'll do it for the cameras. And just because they'll want to respect each other's reputations and stuff like that. But it'll just it's just awkward. It's like meeting up with your ex, you know what I mean? It's just like,
yeah.
If that's a legitimate line of like if they're gonna shake hands or not, I'm putting a line on that. There's no way they don't.
Yeah.
I like if there's gonna be the most cameras in this football game, they're gonna shake hands.
Yeah.
It's gonna make so many headlines if they don't, rather than if they did.
Yeah, and knowing Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, they don't want any more commotion than they have to. Like Bill Belichick.
Like imagine what would happen if they just like didn't interact with each other at all. They just game's over and they just like they just don't even act like they know each other.
That'd be so funny though, honestly.
ESPN would have a field day.
Oh yeah. But who do you guys have winning that game? Do you think Brady will pull it out, or do you think the Pats will?
Bucks. Yeah, Bucks.
No brainer.
What do you think? Let me check what the line is on it. I know the Bucks are favored, but I don't know how much. The Bucks are favored by 7.
I think
the Patriots are 1-2, staring down 1-3, and their one win is against Zach Wilson and the Jets. I don't love it.
Yeah.
Patriots by 14.
14?
Yeah.
You think they'll win?
I mean, not Patriots, Bucks. My bad.
Bucks
by 14.
I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be like 31-21, something like that.
I do feel like, though, with how much of a mind Bill Belichick is, he's going to have something up his sleeve to make Tom Brady, at minimum, uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah. And
you see how he plays rookie quarterbacks. I know it's completely different, but if anybody knows Tom Brady's mind, it's going to be Bill Belichick. So
yeah, and then like I would say the strong point of the Patriots right now is their defense. Like they've got a rookie quarterback. They brought in a lot of free agents. They're still trying to get things on track. I mean, I think they'll play well, but not what it'll take to win a game against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. But
Right.
And isn't Tom Brady like set to break the all-time passing yards record this game?
he's 80 yards away from
Yeah,
breaking
so
Drew
he's
Brees'
going
record.
to.
What a story, going back to your
That's-
ex's house and breaking an NFL record.
That'll be a good moment, though. I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll be like he's just.
There's no way Patriots fans boo him, right? There's no way.
Nah, maybe like
No, he's only got 7 rings. There's no way.
I don't know. There'll be some people there that will, but like once he breaks that record on the field, I think there'll be a nice ovation. They'll have a nice video for him before the game. It'll be interesting to see how Tom Brady reacts though, because I feel like a lot of the fans will be, but I feel like he'll be pretty stern faced. Like when he's in a game, he's pretty like
Focused.
he just goes about his business. He doesn't really take in the oohs and the ahs very much. He just kind of goes. He's just there. He's just a competitor. Like he's there to play football. He doesn't really care about the other stuff.
I think he won't outwardly show it, but I do feel like internally, even during the game, he'll be thinking about all the 2 decades he spent there.
Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah.
could you not, right?
Yeah, but he's just not like an emotional. I mean, he's an emotional guy,
No,
like,
he's not.
but like he's not like Phillip Rivers. You know, when he goes back to San Diego or LA, like he's gonna. Because I remember Phillip Rivers being pretty emotional. Like Eli Manning had his number retired this past weekend, and he was pretty emotional. Like I just don't see Tom Brady like when he's doing his Hall of Fame speech. I feel like he's gonna be.
He acts like
charismatic.
in those situations.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see though. I'm that's definitely the game that like if I could only watch one game this weekend, I'm watching that game for sure. But kind of continuing with our conversation on NFL, I want to get your thoughts on just the week in general, just because it is a pretty big week. Like there's a lot of interesting matchups this week. I like the Panthers Cowboys game. I think that'll be a fun game. Like there's just a bunch of weird matchups. And I kind of want to get your thoughts on one lock for this week that you have that like no matter what this team is winning or no matter what this team is winning by or they're beating the over under or whatever you want to do. And then one upset this week that you guys have. So I'll start with TJ. You can go first.
Yeah, I'm going to start off with my lock. I kind of mentioned it earlier, but Jets and Titans. Obviously, the Jets are something else. I don't even really need to say anything more about that, in all honesty. But what I am I'm really just intrigued by the Titans. I feel like they've underperformed so far. I feel like Julio has underperformed so far. And I feel like in a way, this game is going to have multitude going into future weeks, barring injuries, of course. But like, I feel like this week they're going to get their stuff on track. And I feel like the Titans have a lot of intrigue to them. And I feel like that this could be kind of a, hate to call like this, no disrespect to Jets and Jets fans, but maybe more of a tune-up game or a figure it out type game.
Yeah. So what about you, Cooper? What do you think's your lock?
I have my lock as Packers beating Steelers. I think the Packers are just going to take off and not lose many more games, and the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger are not very good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Big Ben has looked rough. Some of the videos I've seen on Twitter of him is funny.
He didn't throw further than 12 yards last game.
Yeah,
like
that's tough.
Like he's bad, bro.
Yeah, my lock for this week, I'm gonna go outside the box a little bit. I'm looking at all the games here, and I'm gonna go. I've had a couple in my head. I'm gonna go Lions. No.
Did you not prepare?
I'm gonna go Rams beat the Cardinals. Rams are gonna beat the Cardinals.
That's a lock. Like
Yeah.
you're like certain.
Yeah, I like the Rams a lot. I like Stafford a lot.
That's like the best like matchup.
The Rams are favored by 4. Like it's an interdivisional match. Like I like nothing against Kyler at all. I love Kyler this year. I think he's a top 3 MVP guy. I think they'll definitely be in the playoff hunt at the end of the year. But the Rams, just like I think they're a legit team. Like they're legit. Like I think they're they're a conference championship.
Matt Stafford, like that team, that offense is like perfect for him. Like,
yeah. And both teams are undefeated right now, so it's a big game.
Stafford's always been a dog. It's just more the system that he was in for the longest time.
Like this is what he's needed for the last. How long has he been in the league? Since like 2006?
2009.
2009. Okay, well, for the last 12 years.
Yeah. I like Stafford a lot this year. He was a sleeper for me for MVP. I've actually had some good flips on him with cards before the season. So, but I like the Rams in this game. And then, TJ, what's your upset of the week?
So Rams Cardinals.
Okay.
Actually, which
Okay.
is funny. Yeah, I'm really intrigued by Kyler and D Hop and just kind of that whole operation they got going on there. When I saw the Rams were the favorite, obviously not by a large margin, but I feel like this is going to be a really good game, if anything. And I do feel like and this sounds dumb, but my basis of saying this is I just have a feeling.
Yeah.
I really like Kyler to play well. The issue is though, is you got big old Aaron Donald staring you down there across the line.
I love that defense.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question, kind of related, kind of not. Is Aaron Donald the best player in football?
He's the most dominant.
Is he the best player in football though?
No.
Patrick or what?
I'm taking Brady. Until Brady doesn't win, like I'm taking Tom Brady.
Yeah, I agree with the most dominant. I was having a conversation with a buddy the other day about who's the best player.
Him and Myles Garrett are like 1A, 1B for me.
Sure.
The most dominant. But all right, Coop, what's your upset for this week?
Panthers beat Cowboys.
Love.
Really?
They're 3-0.
4-0?
Hot. Sam Darnold's hot. He's confident. I think they're going to beat the Cowboys.
My only thing with that is
Ooh.
CMC's out. Like you're gonna be giving your RB1 what's the word? Rushes to Chuba Hubbard, which I'm not sure if I love that or not.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's an upset.
All right.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I dig the confidence, Cooper, but I'm going to disagree with you because the Panthers' 3 wins are all teams that are 0-3 or 1-2. They haven't played anybody really strong yet. I actually thought about going with the Panthers in this game. Their defense is good. They're legit.
I mean, the Cowboys are good. Like I think they're gonna actually beat. I think they'll make the playoffs this year.
I hope so. The division's terrible.
I say that division. Yeah.
If they don't make the playoffs in that division, I don't know what.
But like they're good enough to win like 12 games.
Yeah, they should. They're playing the Giants and the football team twice a year.
Hey, don't sleep on Heineke, baby.
Hey, he's so good. Bro, his Prism Gold rookie sold on eBay the other day for like $900.
No, crazy.
It's crazy, man. People. I don't even want to get into that right now. But my upset for this week. My upset for this week is shoot. Who did I pick? Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. It was Lions. I'm going Lions over the Bears. I think the Lions get their first win of the year. The Bears are so bad.
You're really gonna sail this with an Ohio State flag in the background?
Yeah, like my boy Fields has no help, bro.
He's getting set up for failure. He's literally set up.
Like their offense. Like, okay, first of all, how do you trade up for a talent like Justin Fields and not play an offense or create an offense that works around his strength? Like, how do you have that much invested into a guy and one, not protect him, two, not give him any, not that he doesn't have the weapons and the tools, not give him any, like, he's not set up to succeed in that offense at all.
Like it's like they need, like there's certain plays that he like would know how to run, just like his skill set, and they're giving him like, I don't know, it's just bad. Matt Nagy's
it was I watched that whole game. It was rough to watch. Like he was missing like easy slants and stuff that he would like. And at Ohio State, he was a great passer. He was so accurate. One of the most accurate passers, I think, in college football history as far as efficiency. But like, he just couldn't hit a pass. He had no time. He was running for his life. I don't know. But I like the Lions.
Did he get sacked 9 times?
9 times.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
9 sacks. Myles Garrett had 4.5.
I heard that. I didn't know they had. I thought that was it. 9 sacks. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So
that is
and then Justin Fields is also banged up a little bit. Andy Dalton's still banged up. So they have all 3 quarterbacks. Nick Foles might start this week. All 3. They haven't made a decision on who's starting.
All 3 people. Let's go.
So yeah. So it's like I think the Lions. I think Jared Goff. Even though they're away, they're 0-3. Like I feel like they need it's their time to get a win. Like
hey, DeAndre Swift is legit, bro.
Yeah,
great here.
He can run. he gets his opportunities, he can go. But and then the next topic I kind of wanted to get into, speaking of just staying on the topic with football, I guess, is I read an article this week about just the overall what Fanatics is going to do as far as like what wax prices of certain products will they go up or down once Fanatics comes. And it made me start to really think about like wax of current like good quarterback classes in the NFL, like Prism and Optic of like these 2021 classes is going to be like once, 5 or 6 years. It's obviously it depends on the play of the quarterback and stuff, but it kind of made me think in my head of a question. If you had to pick one class to stick with, the 2020 QB, so your Burrows, your Herberts, your Tuas, Hurts, Eason, or your Lawrence, Fields, Lance, Wilson. Obviously, it's pretty early for these guys in the 2021 class, but just overall as a picture, if you had to pick one class, which one would you pick out of those guys?
2020.
2020.
Yeah. Give me 2020, and it's not even it's a no-brainer.
Why do you say that?
Just I feel like, and it's kind of ironic to say this, but I feel like, and just logistically speaking with Panini, I feel like there's been more widespread product that's going to be, or I should say that there's going to be more widespread product that's going to be printed. I feel like that being one thing. Two, I mean, you've got 4 or 5 guys who are consistent contributors, several of them looking amazing. A lot of uncertainty.
We've had 5 rookie quarterbacks start in 2021,
but they're 1 in 10. You know what I mean? Like at this point in time,
3 weeks into the year, though. Like I feel like
I hear you.
Come and win the 49ers a Super Bowl in a couple of years.
I hear you. The question was for now.
Right.
Like, and I love T-Law, and I am very intrigued by Trey Lance. I just like
but
Trey Lance.
Even if the question is for the future, are you picking 2021? Because I'm not.
I am.
I'm not.
I'll go on record and say it. The only guy that I like better than Lawrence and Fields and Lance long term, if their situations pan out. Obviously, that's the big thing. Like I said, it obviously just depends on if they pan out with the situations that they're in. Like Justin Fields could potentially be a bust because of the team he's on, honestly. But overall, besides Herbert, like I'd rather have Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I like Hurts a lot. I think he's a competitor. I like his game a lot. I just don't know about long-term. Is he going to be the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles in 6 years? Tua, obviously there's his injuries.
Yeah.
I don't think Tua.
I heard something today on Twitter that Washington is looking at Tua possibly.
And Houston.
Yeah. In Houston. So it's just like, besides Herbert, like Burrow, like he's on the Bengals, like they're good. They'll probably be pretty close to playoff team this year. It's just hard for me to, I don't know. I besides Herbert, I don't really want anybody else. I'd rather have Lawrence and Fields.
You taking 2019 over those two?
So Kyler, Daniel Jones.
And that's like it. Dwayne Haskins.
DK.
Yeah, I'd rather have 2021.
If we're talking QBs, then yeah, but overall, I should say.
As far as like, yeah, as QBs, I'd rather have 2021. But as far as sealed wax, 2019 is looking like a decent year because I feel like Kyler's going to be a guy for the next 10 years.
I think so too.
So if you could hold a box of like let's say you could hold a box of 2019.
Other than Kyler, who DK, I guess.
DK. Who else is
like Josh Jacobs, Debo,
yeah,
Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, there's some guys. There's some guys for sure, but
Drew Lock.
Yeah, we haven't even talked. I was actually my upset pick was going to be the Ravens over the Broncos, but now the line is even, so that kind of threw that out. But yeah, I liked the Ravens in that game. I like the Broncos a lot. Teddy B is a guy. He's a dog. He can play. But I feel like the Ravens are too powerful. But anyway, that's the I feel like 2021 is a good class. It'll be interesting to see how like they turn out the rest of the year. Obviously, I don't expect any of them to really make the playoffs, but I'm gonna go. All right, so I'm gonna just like name some random players and kind of stay on the topic of like investments and things like that. Give me one quarterback right now that you would buy. So like perspective, like if you were like, for me personally, I don't buy football during the football season, but if I was, give me one quarterback right now that you would be buying.
Kyler Murray.
Okay. TJ.
Not saying I'm doing this, but I just as a prospective idea, probably like a 300-day hold. Jordan Love.
Okay. I like it.
Interesting.
I'm gonna go Baker. I like Baker. I think they'll be an AFC championship type team this year. Give me one quarterback that you would sell right now. Like get rid of it as soon as you can.
Good.
I'm thinking.
I'd say Justin Herbert. Like
Okay.
I think he's gonna be good in the future, but like he's so hot right now, and it's the middle of the it's like the season just started. Justin Herbert, I'd sell him.
Okay.
Probably Jameis for me. Jameis stuff went way up. I feel like it might be at its peak right now.
Yeah, it was either maybe one of those two, but no, with Herbert.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Lamar.
Oh wow.
And I'm gonna go, kind of a hot take. And I'm gonna go Kyler. And
Kyler?
It sounds kind of ridiculous, but with Kyler right now, he's just so liquid that everyone's looking for him, that I feel like it's a good opportunity to, even though I feel like he could be an MVP guy, I'd rather take my money now and move on. And then the same with Lamar. Lamar is a liquid guy. Everyone's kind of looking for him. But I also think that the Bengals and I think the Browns will ultimately win the division. And I think the Bengals have a good shot at making the playoff. It's just a strong division. You know, with the Steelers, they're bad, obviously, but they're still the Steelers. But you never know. So I feel like I'd sell Lamar and I'd sell Kyler. And then give me one quarterback that you would hold right now.
Same answer for me. Jordan Love.
Love.
I'm intrigued. Yeah, like I'm just by his hype market really next year.
I'd say Burrow.
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Dak. I feel like the Cowboys will win the division. There'll be a lot of hype around him toward the playoff with Cowboys fans going nuts. And I would sell at playoffs because the Cowboys will always disappoint. Facts. But I like Dak. I think the Cowboys have a good year. But kind of staying on this topic as well, I kind of want to go over, I'm just going to throw out random athletes and you tell me buy, sell, or hold. First thing that comes to your mind, kind of give me an explanation. It can be any sport. I'll just start naming stuff and we'll just kind of talk. Shohei Ohtani.
Sell.
For both,
and
sell?
It's not even close. Baseball's coming to the end.
So.
The Angels aren't great.
They're not a playoff team.
Nope. Don't love it.
Sell.
I've been saying sell Ohtani for a while now.
Yeah. So have I.
Okay. I would agree with that. I would buy him again probably in December if you're going to.
Yeah, going into baseball, he'd probably be a play. Probably make some return there.
Yeah. John Morant.
Hold/buy.
Why do you say that?
I just it's kind of what we were talking about with quarterbacks. Like a lot of those top 2 or 3 guys in their class, I feel like they're going to see a lot of rise going into the season. He's kind of the guy there. I mean, he is the guy there. I would probably sell really close to the season, kind of like what a lot of people do with quarterbacks.
Okay.
I'd say buy. I'd say buy for right now, and then so when the NBA hype comes back, which it's starting to.
Yeah. All right. Luis Robert.
So
Buy.
I agree. I like buy. I like the White Sox.
I don't think he's gonna be that good.
So. I think he's cheap right now.
It's more of a thing of like, okay, the White Sox are really freaking good. He is going crazy right now. I feel like he has a lot of room to grow. And like, if the White Sox make a run, say they even get to the ALDS or like, I forget if that's the first, second round. Say they get to the second round. that stuff is going to do really well. I feel like
Mhm. I agree. I like
short-term buy. I should preface that.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Eloy
Short-term buy for
Wofford,
like a 2-month hold.
I would
for like
buy
a
him
playoff
now
hold.
to flip in the playoffs.
Okay, yeah.
Right
I
there.
just feel like he's cheap right now. Let me think of someone else real quick. Ben Simmons.
Hold. There's no point to sell him right now. Like this stuff is so cheap.
Probably buy and hold. And there's been talks about him going to the Warriors. If that happens, his stuff's going to go way up. I feel like it's a buy and hold.
The reason I don't say buy is because I wouldn't want to put any of my money into him. But if I have some cards of him, like you might as well hold them.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let me think of someone else real quick.
Give me a fringe sport, Nate Dog.
French sport.
Yes.
All right, Lewis Hamilton.
His cards went up after his.
I don't know enough about F1 to answer this question. Like,
I think that he will. Okay, I'm kind of a two-pronged answer
is he
here.
not? Is he not like the Mahomes of F1?
He's like the Brady of Mahomes. He's like
he
the
is.
Like his cards. Like, what's gonna make them go down? Nothing.
So, in terms of the F1 market, F1 is higher than it's ever been right now. Cases like just as kind of like a benchmark, like cases of F1 Chrome could be had very early on. I believe retail was like 1,600, and now they're over. Like they go for over 23,000.
For how much?
The last sale, 23,000 on a case.
Yeah,
Bro, I remember when people were ripping them in Dallas. Whenever we went and what? when was that?
It started out as like a fun little rip, and then it turned into a real. So I'm saying I think Lewis Hamilton as an idea is a buy just because he is like, it's like buying the goats, right? Like I forget the guy's name. I think his last name is Schumacher. He's like the goat from like the 80s. But like as of right now, Hamilton is the guy. It does worry me that, F1 could hit a ceiling, kind of like how like maybe like soccer did in March when soccer went down a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I did not know a case was that expensive.
Yeah, and they are very hard to come by because there's not a lot of product.
Like, I remember looking on Blowout, like when it came out, and you could like buy a case.
Yeah, like even like Sapphire, especially, which is more of the high end product with the big hits, like that is dried up completely almost.
Yeah,
like it's like pulling teeth to get that from what I've heard. So
it's tough because like, especially the Sapphire boxes, like you're guaranteed 2 numbered cards per box in the F1 Sapphire boxes, and they're already low numbered as it is, and the checklist is like fairly short. I think it's like 100. So you can do the math on how many Sapphire boxes there are, and I feel like those will continue to rise in price.
I think so too. It's also interesting, like in terms of market, because F1 does not historically grade well, the Chrome and Sapphire. So the stuff that's high grade goes for obscene amounts, which is super interesting.
Yeah. All right. Another player, gonna go back to basketball, KPJ.
I don't know.
I think everyone's buying.
I'm selling.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think everyone's buying.
I feel like I see daily posts on Facebook looking to buy Kevin Porter Jr.
The thing with me about KPJ is I think he'll be a top 3 scorer on that team for sure. But the Rockets are not going to be good. Jalen Green, once he gets cards out, like they're going to be better. I'm selling KPJ.
I just feel like he's super easy to move.
He's liquid. He is. So I'd buy to flip it, obviously. But he's so hot right now that it's hard to get it at a good price.
If I had cards of him, I would maybe consider just stashing one, but
yeah, like stash a silver or something like that.
I have a Purple Wave Prism at PSA right now that I got for $5.
There you go. That comes. Is that?
I mean, that might be one to hold and see. I mean, I feel like you're going to be way up on it.
I should be getting it back in the next like month. I sent it off in January.
If that comes back before Dallas, that's nice. All right. Let me do like one or two more. LaMelo Ball.
Hold
I'm buying LaMelo Ball.
/ buy. Yeah.
I think hold.
I could see all three of those, honestly. I could
There's
see
an
all three.
argument for all three.
Bro, he's so like entertaining and flashy. So like I feel like if the season opens first night and he drops 40 points, his cards are gonna go up.
Yeah.
I believe it.
And
So
then my
interesting
last,
to me that he has so few Prism Silver 10s.
yeah. No one's
I
winning.
want to say sub 15. Don't
Yeah.
quote me on that.
It's that low.
Yeah, well, also a lot of the Prism this year is off-centered. So it's hard.
Especially him.
It's like every single card.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
All right. And then my last one for this segment is going to be Mr. LeBron James.
Hold.
Bye.
Sell.
Holds up. Sell. Why?
You have a lot of explaining to do, Nathan.
Yeah. Why?
He's liquid. I mean, the season's approaching. Lakers start off hot. I'd sell. Like I said earlier, it depends on the strategy for LeBron, because you could buy LeBron autos and hold those. You could, like, right now, what I mean by sell, when I think of selling LeBron, I think of like his chrome 10s, his base paper tops 10s, things like that. But long term, if I'm buying LeBron and holding LeBron, I'm doing autos and things like that.
Sure. Right.
So
But
I feel like
even
he's right now. So
aren't even like his chrome 10s and base 10s like pretty low right now?
considering where they have been, yeah, that's why I think it's a buying opportunity, but it's also a buy and flip opportunity. And obviously holding LeBron is never wrong. So
Never forget when LeBron Chrome 10s were getting compared to Bitcoin.
yeah,
I mean, they have similar value.
Like
I want to say there's a sale north of 48K at the height, which is insane.
that was like early 2020, right?
Probably right around February.
Yeah. But all right, I got a couple more topics before we wrap up here. When I get to these shortly, so we can get to everything that we had planned. Optic basketball retail. Have you guys seen any of it yet?
Nope.
I haven't either. When is it supposed to hit?
I don't know, but I'm about to start hunting.
I need to. I want to rip a couple blasters. I think it'd be fun.
Low-key, like, yeah. I want to pull a LaMelo hollow.
I bet those will pull numbers just because there's no Prism Silver 10s.
No. And the hollows are super hard to hit.
Bro, I've always loved Optic more than Prism.
Me too. I think it's aesthetically better. I like Optic better. But yeah, I would.
The sells better.
Yeah, I'd want to rip a few, but I'd also like to buy some singles. But it's crazy to me that like Optic and like stuff like that is just now coming out, and like we're just now getting cards of like Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green, and it's just annoying. You know, I wish those products were out a while ago.
Yeah, like there's, I mean, it's Optic, but there's those Optic Chronicle rated rookies of people, like the rookies of Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, like
we're just now getting Optic rookies of LaMelo Ball.
And Prism of Cade Cunningham will be probably out here in December and January. So like, it's just
like what's the word with a like mosaic?
Bro, I don't know. I thought it was supposed to come out like a month ago.
Like,
I feel like we still have a decent amount of 2020, 2021 stuff coming out.
There is.
It's so weird because Prism has been out for what feels like forever. I feel like it came out in like March. It came out at the end of March.
Yeah,
right? It did. And you know what's crazy about that is it's still hitting retail.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like that's, bro, that is stupid.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I feel like they released it like in small spurts though. Over a long amount of time. It's not like every store was getting
they don't get a lot of blasters, but like still, but for something to go for 7 months.
They planned that out. They said we want to elongate our cash flow.
And I think they're doing the same thing with Select. Because
bro.
Select is still hitting in decent quantities.
Select is buns. I hate it.
Bro, yeah.
I used to love
Bro,
Select.
Select used to be my favorite until they did that whole retail thing with football.
Football
my
ruined
favorite product.
that ruined it. It really
There's nothing select about it anymore.
no, not at all.
Like, bro, Justin Herbert base Select rookie is $2. If it would have been hobby only, I guarantee you that'd be a $20 card.
Yeah,
But
and it would be a good grader too.
But there is 100,000 of those. Like, that's insane, bro.
Yeah. All right. Last topic we're gonna get to before we wrap it up. Give me one word to describe the state of the card hobby right now today. One word.
Liquid.
Okay.
I'll get my basis after y'all answer.
I'm gonna go healthy.
Amen.
I'm trying to find a word that's like average. Like, it's not high, but it's not low. It's just like,
Steady.
yeah.
I like it. I like that. I think we're in a good spot. Obviously, it's not as high as it was this year or this time last year. But I still feel like we're in a good spot. We're headed in a good direction. TJ, you wanted to elaborate a little bit before we wrap up?
Yeah, what comes to my head is I'm like, okay, there was times, and I'm a little bit different because I run my card things more like flipping and business type stuff, like not per se investing. So it's a little different, but like whenever the market was down, it was a struggle to sell even normal product, quote unquote, right? Like whether it's a product or just singles in general. At this point, I feel like it's healthy and like people know what they want. And so it's easier to buy. Hence on the back end, it's more easy to be liquid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
And I just feel like if you know what to buy, it's not necessarily easy to do this, but it makes things a lot easier when you know there's a market. And
yeah.
There have been times when that's not the case.
Yeah, that's for sure. But great point there. That's gonna wrap up this episode. I feel like we had a good conversation there. A look ahead into a couple things that we've got coming up personally. They just announced the Okc Show Dates, so I know I'll be set up at that. It's going to be October 22nd through the 24th at the Normal Hotel. I think Cooper's going to set up. Is that right, Cooper?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then Dallas is the weekend after that. So a couple of big shows coming up. And they've got a small show in Oklahoma City this weekend. I won't be at. I don't know. TJ, are you going to Alice? Okay. Cooper, are you going to go?
Probably not.
Yeah,
I didn't go last one.
I can't. But got a couple of things coming up. We're going to try and make this podcast, at least once every 2 weeks. Hopefully once a week would be good. So stay tuned for that. Once again, my Instagram is nathans.sportscards. That's where I do a lot of my business and content. Cooper's is cs.sportscards, and then TJ is 405 cards. But yeah, do you guys have any last thoughts you want to say?
I think we're sell me slabs, hit my DMs.
I'm buying. Yeah, but that's going to wrap up this episode, guys. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll see y'all later. See ya.